Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old man. He was poor and owned very little, but he had something truly special, a beautiful white horse. This wasn't just any horse. It was rare and admired by the whole village. To the old man, the horse wasn't just an animal. It was like family. One day, the king heard about the horse and wanted it for himself. He sent his minister to offer the old man a huge sum of money. But the old man shook his head gently and said, "This horse is not just a possession. It's my friend, my companion. You wouldn't sell a friend, would you?" The minister left, but the villagers thought the old man was foolish. They said, "You're making a mistake. You could have sold the horse and become rich. What if you lose it one day? Then you'll have nothing." The old man just smiled and replied, "All I know is that the horse is in my barn today. Whether keeping it is good or bad, only time will tell." Not long after, the villagers' warning seemed to come true. One morning, the old man found his barn empty. The horse was gone. The news spread quickly, and the villagers gathered around saying, "See, we told you. You should have sold the horse. Now it's been stolen. What a misfortune." But the old man replied calmly, "All we know is that the horse is gone. Whether this is good or bad, we don't know yet. Only time will tell." A few days later, something unexpected happened. The horse returned, and it wasn't alone. It had brought back a group of wild horses. The villagers were amazed. They said, "You were right, old man. Losing the horse wasn't a misfortune. It was a blessing. Now you're so lucky." The old man simply smiled and said, "All I know is that I now have more horses. Whether this is a blessing or a misfortune, only time will tell." Time passed, and the old man's only son began training the wild horses. One day, he fell while training and broke his leg. Once again, the villagers gathered and said, "What bad luck! Your son's injury is such a misfortune. How will you manage without his help?" The wise old man replied, "All we know is that my son broke his leg. Whether this is good or bad, we don't know. Only time will tell." A few weeks later, the country went to war, and all the young men in the village were called to join the army. Sadly, many didn't return. However, the old man's son couldn't go to war because of his broken leg. The villagers said, "You're so lucky, old man. Your son's injury turned out to be a blessing after all. He's safe and still with you." Once again, the old man replied, "All I know is that my son is here with me. Whether that's a blessing or a misfortune, only time will tell." This story teaches us that life's events can often seem like misfortunes or blessings at first, but their true meaning only becomes clear with time. Just like the old man didn't rush to judge his circumstances, we too can try to accept things as they are and let life unfold. Sometimes, what feels like a loss or disappointment today may turn out to be a blessing tomorrow. And what we think is a blessing might bring unexpected challenges. Instead of reacting with sadness or frustration when things don't go our way, we can choose to stay calm and trust that time will reveal life's bigger picture. Remember, life is full of surprises. Often, only time can show us the true meaning of our experiences.